Education Telescope on Leadership TV. I am your host, Mariam Rabiu, and here are the news for today. UBEC says Nigeria needs 20,000 additional schools for out-of-school children. The Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, Dr. Hamid Boboyi, has said that the country needed an additional 20,000 schools and 907,769 classrooms to absorb the growing number of out-of-school children. Boboyi stated this in Abuja on Tuesday while briefing the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, and the Minister of State, Dr. Yusuf Sununu. According to the press statement by Ben Gong, the Director of Press and Public Relations, Boboyi identified infrastructural gaps, inadequate manpower as some of the challenges facing the Commission in its efforts toward ensuring equitable access to quality basic education. He called on all the states of the Federation to show greater commitment towards providing counterpart funding to accelerate the development of basic education in the country. The minister added that the government of President Bola Tinubu would leave no stone unturned in ensuring that every Nigerian child was brought on board the ship of education. He also said the forthcoming national census will put paid to the controversies surrounding the actual figures of out-of-school children. Also speaking, Dr. Sununu said all hands must be on deck to ensure that Nigerian children get the desired education to prepare them for the future. Sununu directed the UBEC chief executive to take the struggle for counterpart funding to the doorstep of state governors, explaining that an uneducated child is a clear danger to himself and the society at large. CBN JAMB partner on modalities for disbursement of students' loan. As part of the efforts to actualize the provisions of the Higher Education Act 2023, otherwise known as the Student Loan, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, are interfacing with a view to fashioning out modalities for speedy disbursements to beneficiaries. It will be recalled that President Bola Tinubu recently signed into law a bill that provides interest-free education loans for Nigerians willing to acquire tertiary education while they pay in installments 2 years after their participation in the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) program. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in a meeting with JAMB at the board's national headquarters in Buhari, said JAMB, as a critical stakeholder, is to provide the requisite database of eligible students who had enrolled in Nigerian tertiary institutions as part of the verification process for accessing the loan. Deputy Director, Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Oyeleke Abayomi, who represented the CBN at the high-powered meeting, commended the JAMB team for its prompt response despite the short notice. He stated that the student loan scheme, scheduled to commence with effect from 1st October 2023, would be in phase, noting that while there were stakeholders such as the Federal Ministry of Education, tertiary institutions, and their regulatory agencies listed in the Act, the responsibility of the CBN, according to him, was to develop an application to operationalize disbursement of the loan. He further explained that every interested Nigerian students are to log in and register for the loan while CBN verifies the citizenship and admission status of the applicant, adding that the loan is to cater for tuition and upkeep. He commended President Tinubu for initiating such a thoughtful policy as he pledged the support of the board in providing all data related to admission of students that will be required for the success of the initiative. University of Lagos reduces school fees. University of Lagos management now has announced a reduction in its fees following a meeting with representatives of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) on Thursday. In a statement released on Friday morning, it was disclosed that the university convened a meeting on Thursday evening with NANS executives and various faculty members. It will be recalled that in July, the UNILAG administration revealed an increase in tuition fees for both incoming and existing undergraduate students, attributing this decision to prevailing economic circumstances. As a result, some students, under the banner of the National Association of Nigerian Students, have taken to the streets to protest the fee hike, resulting in clashes between the school authorities and the protesters. The statement read in some parts, authorities of the University of Lagos, led by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, on Thursday, September 14, 2023, had a meeting with the President of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Comrade Usman Umar Barambu, accompanied by top officers of the association and UNILAG faculty leaders drawn from 9 faculties of the University and College of Medicine. After careful evaluation of the issues raised by the students and management, the following consensus was reached at the meeting. Utility charges for all categories of students were reduced to 15,000 naira from 20,000 naira. For hostels in the Idiaraba campus, the fees were reduced to 65,000 naira from 120,000 naira. The fees for Solende Hall were reduced to 135,000 from 250,000. JAMB Group rescheduled first national conference on higher education. The JAMB Equal Opportunity Group JOG has rescheduled its first national conference on equal opportunity of access to higher education in Nigeria. Earlier scheduled to hold on Tuesday 26 and Wednesday 27 September to Monday 25th and Tuesday 26 September 2023. This change in date is as a result of a possible declaration of Wednesday 27 September 2023 as a public holiday by the federal government. The board regrets all inconveniences occasioned by this change in date and calls on all stakeholders, including all heads of tertiary institutions, head of examination bodies, the West African Examination Council, National Examinations Council, National Business and Technical Examination Board (NABTEB), National Board for Arabic and Islamic Students, BAIS, State Commissioners of Education, heads of schools of persons with disabilities, deans of faculties of education, and heads of Department of Special Education, leaders and members of Association of Persons with Disabilities, and the general public to note this change and act accordingly. All other information pertaining to venue and time remains as earlier announced. The conference, which has the theme "Towards Increasing Equal Opportunity to Access of Higher Education in Nigeria," is aimed at boosting the enrollment opportunities of persons with disabilities in Nigeria in the Nigerian tertiary education system. Bauchi government flags off 2023 enrollment drive back to school campaign. As part of efforts towards repositioning and upliftment of the standard of education in the state, Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Abdulkader Mohammed has flagged off the 2023 enrollment drive back to school campaign in partnership with UNICEF Bauchi Field Office. Speaking at the flagging off of the campaign in Bauchi yesterday, the governor said his administration was committed to ensuring judicious utilization of available resources towards the implementation of educational policies that will foster gender inclusion, promote equity, deliver quality learning, and guarantee safe and violence-free schooling for all citizens in the state. He said his administration was deeply concerned with the state of education and is always proactive in taking measures to address observed lapses in the education system. The governor, who also inaugurated Bauchi State Education Steering Committee, explained that the establishment of the committee is a testimony of his administration's unwavering commitment to providing quality education to every child in the state and the need to adapt to changing educational paradigm by ensuring effective learning and the acquisition of relevant knowledge, skills, and competences. He said the committee is expected to build partnership with relevant bodies for collaborative efforts and actions in the promotion of all citizen education in the state and to ensure the education issues are on the front burner of government agencies in the state. 8 people to represent Nigeria in a robotic competition in Singapore. 8 high school students have been selected to represent Nigeria at this year's first robotics competition scheduled to hold in Singapore between October 7th to October 10th, 2023. One of the organizers, Joshua Olayinka Ibikunle, who disclosed this, gave the names of the Nigerian team as Osadebanwen John Nejo, Adetayo Kalajaye, Danish Mehra, Temitope Johnson, Abdulaziz Adekunle, Bashirat Suleiman, Fiyiwa Oluokun, and Adeshina Mojoyi Nolua. Explaining how the selection was done, Ibikunle said they emerged through a very rigorous screening process aimed at identifying exceptionally gifted candidates that will fly the nation's flag at the global competition. While saying that the organizers of the competition is a non-for-profit charity organization geared toward inspiring leadership and innovation in youth from all nations, Ibikunle also explained that they achieved this by empowering them through education. His words: since the inception of the competition in 2017 by First Global Challenge, FGC, it has empowered high school students around the world to collectively tackle the world's most pressing challenges. University of Calabar's engineering program to get NUC accreditation. Amidst the alleged claim by the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, that engineering courses of University of Calabar were not accredited, the Vice-Chancellor of the institution, Professor Florence Banku Obi, said the courses are due for accreditation soon. Obi, while dismissing the claims by COREN, said the University of Calabar engineering courses are just in their 3rd year, getting ready for the National Universities Commission's accreditation in November to December 2023. According to the Vice-Chancellor, when COREN approached her for the engineering course accreditation, she told them to hold on until the institution is through with NUC accreditation slated for November-December. She said that the reason she objected to COREN's accreditation before NUC was because the University of Calabar is being supervised by NUC and not COREN. And the last news for today says, Minister advocates industry-based research for national development. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, has identified industry-linked research in the country's institutions of higher learning as key to national development. The minister stated this in his office in Abuja while receiving briefings from chief executives of parastatals and agencies under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Education. Tahir said the federal government is determined to support research linked to industry so as to synchronize research and the industrial sector in order to accelerate national development. According to a press statement by Ben Bengung, the Director of Press and Public Relations, the minister also called on members of the academic community to see research beyond promotion and career advancement, adding that overall national development must take priority over any other consideration. He promised to do everything humanly possible to ensure that industry-based research is encouraged to accelerate national development. On his part, Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, expressed government's determination to support the Tertiary Education Trust Fund in its efforts at promoting industry-based research. Adding, he said the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do everything humanly possible to clear any obstacle on the way of research funding. And that is all on today's edition of Education Telescope. Thank you for staying tuned. I am your host, Mariam Rabiu. See you next week.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advertising,
your normal
please contact